Hey, everybody, it's Vitaly, and we're going to try this again. I just did this stream and realized after the stream was over that the microphone was coming into the stream off the GoPro and ruining the audio. And we had like 30 or 40 people watching the stream, and nobody said anything. So I've deleted that, and we're going to do it over again because I've had several people over here on not just Facebook, but YouTube and X and Twitch and wherever I stream. A few people have been asking how that 7900 XT is doing. Uh, one is even thinking about buying two. So let's bring that up right quick so y'all can see it. And overall, I have to say that the card's doing a good job. It is a lot bigger than the 3090 Ti was, and this is not going to be in perspective. The 3090 Ti stopped right about here, that Founders Edition card. And this one's a lot bigger. And ASRock does not include an anti-sag bracket with that card. So be aware. If you order that card, you do need to order some kind of an anti-sag device, either a bracket or support or something. It's a large card. As you can see, it's kind of sagging, and I'm going to have to do something about that because I do not want that kind of weight hanging off that PCIe slot. It's bad for the card, and it's bad for the motherboard. I'm so much going to do something about that I'm seriously considering about moving that into a case to where I can just mount it vertical. That way, the motherboard is not supporting the weight of the card. And yeah. Performance-wise, it's a kind of a mixed bag of nuts, and some things it beats the 3090 Ti Founders Edition card, and others the 3090 Ti FE card beats it. It's just depends on what you're doing. That being said, this particular card is way more power hungry than that 3090 Ti card was. At one point during video rendering, I've seen it pulling 466 watts. It's supposed to be a 300 watt TDP video card. I saw it pulling 466 watts, and I posted pictures of that, or clips of a picture in another video. During gaming and streaming, I would check, and it was consistently pulling over 400 watts. So keep that in mind. However, as much as I'm having mixed feelings about the card, it's only because that 3090 Ti FE card was so good. That was one of the cards that kind of slipped through the cracks because at the time that it released, that was pretty well the end of the 30 series cards, and everybody was already waiting for the 4090 to drop. It was just going to be out a month or two later, a few months later, something like that. So most of your big channels didn't pay any attention to the 3090 Ti. It just kind of fell through the cracks. The MSRP on the 3090 Ti Founders Edition card was might as well say $2,000 when it first released. And there towards the end, when I got it, they had cut it almost in half. It was $1,098 plus tax. But if you go by MSRP, the 7900 XT today is just a little over a quarter of that price. If you go by the price at the end, it's about half, and you're getting as good a card for half the money.
Hello, sir.
Well, hello. Hey, Matthew, how you doing, brother? Uh, I will say that if you're thinking about buying a new graphics card and you're going to spend a respectable amount of money, be sure to check out Newegg's trade-in deal. I, in fact, used it for the first time, and they actually did me a good job. The particular video card that I traded in, at best, would have brought about $200 on eBay, and that would have been me paying the shipping and stuff. And then by the time I paid the shipping and PayPal took their listing fees and all that, I wouldn't have made maybe $150 at best if I'm lucky.
Just about to go bed.
They gave me 157 trade-in plus they paid the shipping, which works out to about $177. So I feel like it was a fair deal. So, so be sure to check that out if you're going to be buying a new card. Well, Matthew, I hope you get a good night's rest. I'm probably going to be up all night. There will not be a PUBG stream tonight. PUBG servers are down for the update. They're going to be down for eight and a half hours at least. So yeah. If you have any questions about the 7900 XT, ask them in the comments, and I'll hear it and I'll answer it to the best of my ability.
Got to get up 4 hours for work.
Well, unfortunately, I'm stuck way out here in the country with no way back and forth to town. So I don't have a job. I can't get a job. Don't have a way to buy a car. That video card would not buy a car out here in West Texas, y'all. In fact, I ended up selling the van that got stolen and wrecked in 2022. I took a loss on that, sold that. I sold the Project Monte Carlo, and I've used all that money to pay bills, fix a few things around the house, and I really need to order groceries, but I haven't ordered groceries yet. So yeah. I don't guess anybody's got any questions they want to ask. It's not a bad card, not for the money, and I think I've already said it, but if I haven't, if you're looking at like a 4070 Ti Super or a 4080, then I have to honestly say you need to go look at a 7900 XT or a 7900 XTX, depending on which of the NVIDIA cards you're looking at. If I was looking at a 4080, I would probably go buy the 7900 XTX. If I wanted to get close to that 4080 for a lot less money, I would look at the 7900 XTX. It gets real confusing, especially if you start factoring in ray tracing and upscaling and all that. I don't use ray tracing. I don't really use upscaling as far as gameplay goes. So I just look at the raw horsepower. And if that's the case, if you're not using ray tracing and you're not using upscaling, well, even if you are, because the Intel XESS is really good, by the way, and you don't want to spend $700 and you don't want to spend $1,000 and you damn sure don't want to spend $1,200, then that ARC A770 16 gigabyte card starts making a lot of sense. In a lot of ways, it's ridiculously underrated, and a lot of people point to the old benchmark scores over on Passmark and all that. But here's the thing: most of those scores are based on when that card first dropped and the drivers were having problems. If you could remove all the old benchmarks and just look at the ones with the new drivers, that ARC A770 would be scoring ridiculously higher than it is. You cannot get a true picture off those benchmarks because they're distorted by the data from when the drivers were bad, when they were having issues with the drivers. Anyway, still no questions. So anyway, that's where we are on the 7900 XT. I will be using it for for the foreseeable future. There's no going back to the 3090 Ti, like I said, because I sold that on eBay to take my dog to the vet. And so if I'm unhappy with the card, I'm just going to have to sort it out and work through it. And I was unhappy at first because I was having some problems with things, but it wasn't the card. It was PUBG did an update, Windows did an update, Streamlabs did an update, something else did an update, and it was causing a lot of problems in the computer itself, in the operating environment. It wasn't the card. So I've worked through all that, got everything ironed out, and I'm going to have to give the card a fair shake and use it for a while. The saving grace for me is that it does compete with that 3090 Ti in performance for a fraction of the cost. So we're going to end it on that. And Matthew, get you some rest. Until next time, y'all, this is Vitaly over at OG Gamers Live, OG Gamers World. Y'all stay safe wherever you are in the world today, and we're out of here.